In 1912, a rare book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich walked into a Jesuit library in Italy and found something that would obsess the world for the next 100 years. A handwritten book, 240 pages, hundreds of illustrations, and not a single word that anyone could read. Every page is covered in a language that has never been identified, a script that has never been decoded, illustrations of plants that don't exist, astronomical diagrams that don't match any known system, naked figures bathing in green liquid connected by elaborate pipe systems. The world's greatest codebreakers have tried. The NSA tried. Alan Turing's colleagues tried. Nobody has succeeded. This is the Voynich Manuscript, and after 600 years, we still don't know what it says. Let me tell you what we actually know. The Voynich Manuscript is currently held at Yale University's Beinecke Rare Book Library. Carbon dating places its creation between 1404 and 1438, so it's approximately 600 years old. It's written on vellum, treated animal skin, and contains around 170,000 characters in an unknown script. The illustrations are divided into sections. There's a botanical section, drawings of plants, most of which don't match any known species on Earth. There's an astronomical section, circular diagrams that may represent star charts or calendrical systems. There's a biological section, the strange naked figures connected by elaborate tube systems, bathing in pools of green and blue liquid. There's a pharmaceutical section, drawings of containers and vessels, some containing recognizable herbs, others completely unknown. And there's a text section, dense paragraphs of the unknown script with no illustrations at all. Every section has been studied exhaustively. And here is what makes this object so maddening. The text is not random. Statistical analysis shows that the script follows the patterns of natural language. It has word frequencies, letter distributions, and structural rules that gibberish doesn't have. Something is being said. We just have absolutely no idea what. The manuscript passed through many hands before Voynich found it. A letter found tucked inside the book, written in 1666, claims it was once owned by Holy Roman Emperor Rudolph II of Bohemia. Rudolph reportedly paid 600 gold ducats for it. That's roughly $100,000 today. He clearly thought it was worth something. Before Rudolph, the trail goes cold. Some researchers believe it was written by Roger Bacon, a 13th century English friar and philosopher who was centuries ahead of his time in his thinking about science and encryption. Others point to John Dee, the court astrologer of Queen Elizabeth I, who was known to use complex ciphers and claimed to communicate with angels through a system of symbolic language. And then there's the darker theory. In 2003, a computer scientist named Gordon Rugg suggested that the manuscript might be an elaborate hoax, created using a device called a Cardan grill to generate convincing but meaningless text. His argument was taken seriously. But there's a problem with it. If it's a hoax, it's the most sophisticated hoax in the history of human communication. Creating 600 years of convincing statistical language patterns without accidentally creating something decipherable would require a level of linguistic expertise that arguably exceeds the skill needed to simply write in a real language. So either someone wrote something real, or someone went to extraordinary lengths to make nothing look like something. Neither answer is comfortable. Over the past century, dozens of serious researchers have claimed to have cracked the Voynich manuscript. None of them have been verified. In 1921, a professor named William Romain Newbold announced he had decoded it, claiming it contained advanced scientific knowledge written by Roger Bacon centuries before its time. His solution was debunked within years. In 2017, a researcher named Nicholas Gibbs claimed the manuscript was a women's health guide written in abbreviated Latin. He was convincingly refuted within weeks. In 2019, a computer scientist claimed artificial intelligence had decoded it, identifying the language as Hebrew written in a complex encoding system. Experts were unimpressed. But here's what I find genuinely fascinating about all these failed attempts. Each one tells us something. Newbold's failure tells us the text doesn't contain hidden microscopic markings. Gibbs' failure tells us it's not abbreviated Latin or any known European language. The AI attempt tells us that even the most powerful pattern recognition systems we've built can't crack it. Every failed solution narrows the field. We know more about what it isn't than we've ever known before. And somewhere in what's left is what it actually is. Let me be fair. There are serious linguists and historians who look at the Voynich Manuscript and say, remarkable, yes. Impossible, no. Their argument is straightforward. The Renaissance was full of charlatans, people who sold ancient secrets and lost knowledge to wealthy patrons who wanted to believe they were acquiring something extraordinary. Rudolph II was exactly this kind of buyer. He collected magical objects, alchemical texts, and curiosities from across Europe. He was, in the kindest possible terms, easy to fool. From this perspective, the Voynich Manuscript is simply a very sophisticated confidence trick, a beautiful, elaborate, expensive fake designed to separate a rich man from his gold. And there's something to that. The hoax theory explains many things: the untranslatable language, the impossible plants, the strange diagrams that don't map to anything real. But it doesn't explain everything. It doesn't explain why the statistical properties of the text so closely mirror natural language. It doesn't explain why, if someone created this purely to deceive, they put so much detail into pages that would never be shown to the buyer. Pharmaceutical illustrations, dense text sections, astronomical diagrams that don't appear in the index. You don't add unnecessary complexity to a con, unless the complexity itself was the point. Here's what I keep thinking about. We live in 2024. We have quantum computers. We have artificial intelligence systems that can read dead languages, decode ancient scripts, and process more information in a second than a human could process in a lifetime. We decoded Linear B, the ancient Minoan script, in 1952, working entirely by hand. We decoded Egyptian hieroglyphics using a single stone found in the mud. We've reconstructed Proto-Indo-European, a language that hasn't been spoken for 6,000 years, from fragments scattered across a dozen cultures. And yet, this 600-year-old handwritten book on animal skin has beaten all of us. That fact alone should give us pause. Because there are only two explanations. Either the Voynich Manuscript contains a genuinely novel encoding system, something so different from any language we've ever encountered that our pattern recognition simply can't find the key. Or it contains something we're not supposed to understand. Not because it was hidden from us, but because the knowledge inside it belongs to a framework of understanding that we've lost. The same way Göbekli Tepe contained knowledge that required 12,000 years to find. The same way the Antikythera mechanism contained technology that required 1,400 years to rebuild. Some codes aren't locked with a key. They're locked with time, and we may simply not have arrived at the moment of understanding yet. I want to know what you think. What is the Voynich Manuscript? Leave your theory below. The investigation is open. The stone doesn't give up its secrets easily, but it does give them up. If there's a mystery you want us to investigate, drop it in the comments below. Subscribe to the Lithic Code. The next code is already waiting.